Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today we have the first sneak peek for next week's update. That's right, the update is coming at breakneck speed. I don't think we've had an update like this in a long time, probably because Endgame is not that far away, and Captain Marvel wasn't that far away. Everything's just getting sandwiched in, I guess, after the Collector's Vault. I don't know, man. But we have the first sneak peek for the update that we were hoping to get because we had gotten the information by accident from the new Netmarble forums, and I made a video about it and we all loved it. The X-Force leaked update. OMG, my pants need to be changed. And yeah, my pants need to be changed, and they're going to continue to need to be changed as we get closer and closer to this update, because there's still some important characters missing from this sneak peek. But holy shit, this first sneak peek packs in a lot of big boys into one frame. So what do we have here? An attack by a prehistoric feline. I'm sure you can think who that is. With the help of an unstoppable force, that's me, has set this man on a warpath. That's one of the free-to-play players. So insert any of their names to reveal the following clue. So this is the first clue we get. We have really big footprints. By the way, I'm a size 12. And then we have a child size 12. And then we have a tree full of scratches. And someone was trying to tickle the tree. And then we've got a sword. Well, not a sword. A knife. Some sort of knife there. Now, if we dig a little bit deeper, we can see that we have a sneak peek here as well on Mobarum, and it says, "Greetings, agents. Power can be used as both objects of admiration and intimidation. If not abused, there will surely be those who suffer from it." I mean, whoever wrote this, very poetic. "Investigating conflict is one of the many duties of a hero. It is," he said duty, guys. "It is especially important if those others are placed under danger. This investigation starts off in the woods. No one was at the scene. However, there were several clues left behind. What happened here? Same image. Use the clues left behind to solve this case. Here's a hint. I wonder who or what caused all of this. The names of the characters involved in this case starts with the following letters: W, S, or J. Or if you rearrange them, it's SJW, because Captain Marvel was a movie for feminists." No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's pretty funny. Input one of the character's name you think is related to this case on the correct answer without the brackets. So it's http://bit.ly/marvelff_, and then you put in the answer. Now, if you know who these three characters are, we've got, of course, W for Warpath, S is for Sabretooth, and then J is for J. Jonah Jameson, aka Juggernaut. And if you put Juggernaut in, this is what you're going to see, and it looks amazing. And we've got Juggernaut and Sabretooth both assaulting Warpath, which is very cool, and it's exactly what we thought was coming. So because of this, and because of how heavily it fits perfectly with what we already got from the information from the Netmarble forums, we can also probably guess that we're getting a new uniform for Deadpool, a new uniform for Wolverine, and a new uniform for Nightcrawler. We don't know what else is coming in the update. I really, really hope that we are getting new game modes, or we're getting enhancements to existing game modes, like another 10 Shadowland stages, or, you know, pretty much basically anything else at this point would be lovely. But I am extremely excited for the X-Force update. But I want to give you guys all of my advice. Just keep in mind there's a bit more to cover before we get into that. We do have an update pre-event kind of quest going on. It's happening today, just an hour after this video goes live, and so if you match the time of this event ending, which is the 19th of March, lines up perfectly with when we would get a patch. So literally the end of this pre-update event is the same day as the update. So we are, you know, days away. We're 5 or 6 days away from an update, which is insane. Now this is awesome. So we're going to be getting, of course, the same X-Gene tokens that we had data mined from a previous installation, who someone on Reddit had downloaded, had data mined and shown us. We're going to be getting some other items as well there, and then of course we'll probably be trading these pre-update tokens for something later on, whether it's biometrics for a character or something else entirely. We're also getting the double donation for the Alliance store, which is awesome. You definitely want to donate. You probably want to consider buying the Phoenix Feathers and the Emkron Crystals. Keep in mind, any of these items that you purchase will let you go over the limit of 3,000, so you can kind of start to save up. It's not a lot to save up because you only get 30 per day, but you can save up about 150 more of each, which is honestly not that bad. And then you can also get some other amazing things down here, like hidden tickets and boost points. We also have World Boss Dimension Rifts, which give you additional Black Antimatter and Chaos Nordstones, We've got Bacon walking around, and then we have a bonus crystal event. For the bonus crystal event, I would say try to get deluxe packs if you don't already have them. Some people will try to gamble for the CTP chest because it has the CTP of energy, and then other people will try to gamble for the new Amadeus Cho card. There's a couple of other crystal sales on right now, but really the deluxe packs and possibly the Ant-Man Legendary Battle for the CTP of Rage selector would be other options for getting to that 10,000 crystal limit to get the 6-star mega rank up ticket. And those are kind of my brief tips for how you can spend your crystals if you're trying to hit that milestone. If you have additional questions, you can of course hit me up on any of the social media platforms that I'm on, and I can try my best to help you. Now, how are we going to prepare for this X-Force update? Well, of course, you know that Mr. MasterCard and Dr. Visa are always there to help you out if you get stuck and it's the day of the update. But we can definitely do a lot before the update lands. Because assuming that we are getting uniforms for Deadpool and Wolverine, you're going to need, and of course that would mean at least level 70 for Wolverine, possibly tier 3, you're going to need a shit ton of X-Gene material. So you're going to need tons of these, you're going to need tons of these. Now keep in mind, you want to max both of these out. You want to use the Mcron crystals to rank up X-Men potentials. Now Juggernaut may or may not be an X-Men, may or may not be a mutant in this game because of the fact that he gets his powers from the Cyttorak. So we might have one fewer mutants, but we're at least getting, 2 brand new mutants in Sabretooth and Warpath, and then of course Wolverine's uniform, Wolverine's potential is going to cost additional X-Men material. So definitely use the Mcron crystals to rank up his potential, because you're then going to be forced to use feathers for his gears up to 70. You're also going to need feathers for his uniform because he's a native tier 2. Same thing goes for Deadpool. You're going to need Phoenix feathers for his uniform. If Nightcrawler gets a uniform, you need Mcron shards. So just remember to make that distinction between the two. As far as the fact that we're getting 2 uniforms, presumably 2 uniforms for 2 native tier 2s in Deadpool and Wolverine, the Mega Uniform Upgrade ticket will not work on either Wolverine or Deadpool. So you can consider, if you're going to consider purchasing this, it would be for either another uniform in the future or possibly for Nightcrawler. Now in Nightcrawler's case, if you're not going to be purchasing that and using it on him, you do want to try and stock up on some additional bios of his now from the X-Gene processor, because we don't know. They could be adding new characters to this, possibly Sabretooth, and any character that gets added will kind of reduce the odds that you get the character that you actually need. Now, you may not want to waste your pink antimatter, because if there is a new character added to this processor, you may want to roll to try to get that character. However, I'm just putting that out there for big-time Nightcrawler fans. He is kind of soft paywall. Like he's a lot harder to get than regular characters. He's not obviously as difficult as Biosub or X-Gene Sub, but he's kind of one step down from them, a la someone like X-23 or the Ultimates. And so using a Mega Mythic uniform ticket, or using uniform tickets like the regular ones that we have, is honestly not a bad idea for Nightcrawler. Now, as far as what these characters need, we've covered it in previous videos, but absolutely you want to look for how much, there's a few things, but you definitely want to look for how much more OP Deadpool becomes, because he's already easily a top 5 character in the game, possibly top 2, maybe top 1. And so for him to get a uniform is pretty bonkers. Now, they could give him the Wolverine treatment and make him worse, like they did with his newest uniform, the Marvel Now one, but it's different for Wolverine. At the time, he wasn't even the best character in the game anymore when they gave him a new uniform. He was already kind of getting trolled by Quicksilver in PvP, and so it wasn't really that much of a downfall for the character. He wasn't, as solid, as kind of dominant as before. And even when he first came out, he wasn't really number 1. Jean Grey was. As far as Wolverine goes, we definitely need to see a huge bump in his damage output, because his survivability is legendary. It always has been, but his damage is really where he falls off. So we need iframes, we need just crazy DPS, we need some sort of penetration or iframe ignore, something that makes Wolverine meta enough to take that heal and put it to good use. All defense down like Deadpool. I don't know, Fracture to counter Deadpool. He definitely needs something, one of those. He needs at least one of those last two for sure, one of those two, in addition to some of the other things that I mentioned. By far, the character that needs an upgrade the most, however, is Storm. But I doubt that Storm's going to be getting a uniform with this update, so I just want to preemptively disappoint all of you Storm fans. You're probably not getting a uniform this update. I'm so sorry. I will light a candle for you, and I hope that you can, make it through without too much sadness. However, Nightcrawler needs an insane buff. He's pretty garbage. He just needs a ton more damage and needs more of an identity. I've made it known in a previous video, but basically he's a boring character to play because it's just poof, 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 and you don't see him because there's a big red X on all of his skills. So he just needs more interesting maneuvers, and he needs to be a bit more of a unique character because he's so unique in the comics, and they really just need to be a bit more creative and a bit more thoughtful with the way that his skills kind of illustrate what kind of a character and what kind of a fighter he is, in order for him to actually be fun to play as, instead of just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, snooze fest, auto iframe, low damage tickle fighter. As far as Sabretooth and Juggernaut are concerned, both of those characters are available for ABX, so we do need to watch out for their availability. Sabretooth, if he's a speed type, they could both be combat, but either way, one of them will be combat or speed. There's a small chance that Juggernaut would be universal, but I doubt it. And so there's a good chance that at least one of them, possibly both of them, will be applicable. In Juggernaut's case, he'll be applicable for the combat villain day to compete with Minerva. She already gets close to the cap, but they may be changing the cap, as I've covered in the video already. So who knows? Juggernaut may suddenly be better than Minerva, even though he doesn't have a uniform. And then in Sabretooth's case, if he is a speed villain, which is a possibility, he would compete with and possibly outrank and trump Korath. And he may as well, or not may as well, but he may also be X-Gene sub. Keep in mind that pretty much every X-Men update we've had in recent memory, since the original one, has featured new X-Gene characters because they want to make this a more attractive purchase, and having 4 characters doesn't really make it all that attractive for people to purchase. Whereas if you compare it to the regular boost point selector, wherever the hell it is, there's so many characters on this list. So I would not be surprised if we get a new X-Gene sub character. I'm not saying we will. I'm not trying to jinx us or curse you guys, but I'm just saying it makes sense. You know, last update we had X-Men, we had Gambit, he was there. Update before that, and Sentinel was in the other one. Update before that, Infinity Warps, we had him. Update before that, Deadpool, we had him. Update before that, Emma Frost and her, and Magic, we had Magic. So it just kind of, you know, actually Colossus didn't come in the Deadpool update. He came along with Magic. Yeah, but we also got Colossus bios from the event battle. Was it event battle? It was the faction battle. Do you guys remember those? Whew, blast from the past. Anyways, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm really hyped for this update. I can't wait to try out the new X-Force characters. I hope there's some new game mode to play them in, but most importantly, Wolverine. If you don't have that in common with me, I don't want to talk to you. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Hit me up, subscribe if you enjoy, and of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.